is I, the Nugget, back with an additional 2 SCP files. As always, all reading material can be found in the description. So, without further ado, let us begin today's audio with the first file. Item number SCP-134, classified as safe. One, 134 seems to be an Asian girl between the ages of 6 and 10, with short black hair and a slight build. The subject seems normal in most respects and has all the biological requirements of a human child. However, where 134's eyes should be are 2 black pits covered by a transparent membrane similar in appearance to a human eye's membrane. Ophthalmological testing has shown that the membranes are between 150 and 200 times more resilient than those of a normal, non-anomalous human. 134 lacks eyelids and thus does not blink, nor can 134 see anything through these black areas. Attempts to examine the back of 134's eyeball have failed, as no retina can be seen. In normal lighting conditions, they appear completely black, but in darkness, very faint lights have been seen within them. Further study with long exposure photography and light amplification revealed that the lights are actually stars and galaxies, visible as though 134's eye sockets are somehow looking out into deep space. To date, no astronomical formations have been recognized, though research by staff astronomer is ongoing. Sonar examination has revealed no unusual cavities within 134's skull. Parallax measurements indicate that the remote termini are between 20 and 2,000 meters apart and are moving at between 20 and 40 times the speed of light. This does not appear to be linked to 134's position, movement, or metabolism. Spectrographic analysis indicates that the remote termini periodically moves to new locations. The cause of this is not yet known. The shortest interval measured between shifts was 6 days, while the longest was 5 weeks. As of yet, no termini shifts have been observed in progress. 134 has not shown any hostile behavior and seems unaware of any unnatural condition. 134 shows behavioral symptoms similar to those seen in high-functioning autistic children, subjected to physical tests and becomes upset and less cooperative when this is done by individuals who have previously referred to her as Stella. Consequently, personnel are urged to not refer to her by her name unless they wish their interactions with 134 to be limited to interview sessions. When questioned about her eyes, 134 claims no knowledge of any deformation, even when allowed to feel normal human eyes for comparison. The subject has to date volunteered no information about parentage or identity, though when acquired by the Foundation, 134 was seen to have already been given a name. 134 has proven docile and cooperative, and as such staff should display all the normal courtesy they would to any other guest. 134 was taken into Foundation custody based on reports of a deformed child left at an orphanage in Yokohama, Japan. The subject has been in Foundation custody since the early 2000s, at which time orphanage staff confirmed her age. Since then, 134 has learned conversational English in addition to the Japanese already known, and has demonstrated facility with Braille, though instruction is ongoing. This is currently all that is on file for 134 at current date. And so, we will conclude this file with the special containment procedures in place. 134 is currently contained within a specially outfitted humanoid containment cell measuring 6 meters by 8 meters. Since 134 is completely blind, special safety precautions must be taken with the room's furnishing. 134 is reasonably accustomed to the position of all objects in the cell and navigates mostly from memory. 134's room currently contains one single bed with additional mattress padding, one pink bedsheet set including sheets, comforter, and pillow with Hello Kitty mascot print, one wardrobe and one chest of drawers containing clothes in youth extra small. All drawers are to be labeled in Braille and raised print English. One dollhouse with dolls and interior furnishing. 8 stuffed animals, 3 cats, 2 dogs, a giraffe, a dolphin, and a panda. A selection of children's literature in Braille. 1 chair and 1 table. And a craft station with modeling clay and building blocks. 134 may request additional items, all of which must be approved by a staff member with level 3 clearance or higher. If any items are added to the room, 134's handlers must be informed ahead of time to prepare her for the addition of something new to the environment. 134 is to be tutored on a regular basis, both in general education appropriate for the subject's age and in Braille. And so concludes the file for 134. And we will now move on to our second and final file for today's audio. Item number SCP-135, classified as Euclid. 135 is a human female with an unknown age that promotes rapid, uncontrolled cell growth within a radius of 2.25 meters from itself. It remains rigidly in the fetal position and has never been observed to move. 135's effect is carcinogenic to animal tissue and induces malignant neoplasia in plant and fungal tissues in 100% of recorded exposure cases, with severity and disorganization increasing exponentially with closer proximity to 135. Within 0.1 meters, cells will not die, even under conditions where they would normally, causing 135 to be steadily buried under a continually growing mass of plant matter, fungal matter, and microorganisms. This undying state extends to 135's cells as well. 135 has been shown to lack an epidermis, instead having a crust of mixed plant and fungal matter that has incorporated itself onto 135's skin, interspersed with tumors and patches of raw dermis. 135's lungs, diaphragm, and intestines are ruptured, and growth extends into the chest and abdominal cavities. It has been fitted with wide-diameter plastic tubes for use in draining excess biomatter. The Foundation came into possession of 135 after it and a surrounding ball of growth rolled off a cliff in the mountains, crushing a hiker on the trail below. Class B amnesics were administered to the civilians and law enforcement personnel involved, and the incident was covered up as having been caused by a pair of male goats that slipped and fell off the cliff edge during a dominance battle. Later examination of the growth revealed the partial skeleton of an adult human female. 135 was found in the space between the skeleton's ribcage and pelvis. A viable DNA sample was recovered from the bone marrow of the pelvis, and testing confirmed with certainty that the skeleton belonged to 135's biological mother. All personnel involved with 135's retrieval and initial testing were later diagnosed with various forms of cancer. Only a small few remain alive at the time of this writing. Attempts to terminate 135 with sustained gunfire, flamethrowers, caustic materials, vacuum, and extreme pressure have all failed. Further termination attempts are forbidden by order of O5 Command due to 135's potential uses in cultivating useful bacteria. EEGs confirm full brain activity. No attempts to communicate with 135 are to be made at this time. We have now reached the end of this file at current date, and so we will conclude this audio with the special containment procedures in place. 7 meters to a side. All sections are to be completely sealed off from one another to avoid cross-contamination. 135 itself is to be in a central section with 1 to 1.5 square meters of floor space, with a 5 centimeter wide runoff trench around the perimeter that drains into a tank, the contents of which are to be piped into an incinerator at the end of every week. The remaining space in the containment chamber is to be used to house 5 chemical harvesting vats, 1 vat per partitioned section. A single access corridor is to lead from 135 section to outside the chamber. No personnel are permitted within 135's effect radius. All maintenance, taking of samples, etc. are to be carried out by remote control robots. Disciplinary measures need not be taken against personnel that violate this rule, because the direct consequences of 135's effects have been deemed consequence enough. Robots are to be maintained and cleaned by level 1 personnel. Once a week, 135 section is to be hosed down with solution U82B until its outer coating is visible. In emergencies, flamethrowers may be employed to reduce mass quickly. And with that, we have reached the